So a few months after you got out, you were approached by Mike Moy from Chinatown Gang Stories, and he wanted to interview you, but he wanted to get to know you first. You
Yeah.
were hesitant because he was a gang member from Ching turned detective. So you were concerned about his motives, like, you know, what does he really want, right? Can you talk about that?
I I'm not sure I was concerned about any motives, but I don't know, I had other things going and I don't know.
Well, I'm judging off of the interview that you did with him that you kind of said that basically.
Yeah,
Like
no,
you
no,
were like you,
I'm thinking what I was hesitant about. I was definitely something about it was definitely like I've never associated with a police officer before, so that alone was like weird for me. Whether I'm engaged in criminal activities or not, I've never been friends with police officers like that. And that might have gave me a little bit of trepidations. But everybody that he dealt with that I knew that was legit told me that, dude is all right, man. Just talk to him. And we talked, and next thing you know, he's been helping me a lot with what I got going forward, and put me on to certain things.
yeah, I think that when you get to know Mike, it's like, man, you realize how good of a guy he really is.
And you know what? People are always gonna judge a book by its cover. People that don't know him be like, "Oh, he's an ex-cop." Uh, People in law enforcement that don't know. Oh, now that he's retired, now we know he used to be an ex-gang member. Fuck him. So it's hard to. It's hard. It's hard for a person that don't actually sit down and talk to him to get to know who he is. You know.
Right. But I think that it makes it more qualified for than anything is he knows both sides of the world, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But people always wanna. People are stuck in their ways. Some people don't change. I mean, I was like that.
Mhm.
You know.
Can you talk about the legendary reputation of Peter Chin on the streets, like when you were coming up?
Well, he was a legend. He was a legend. Like he was the one that made Ghost Shadows famous with the stuff he did. And it's all in his book. It's not like we're exposing information that's not shared. You read his book, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So
Well,
if you,
I
and,
interviewed him too. So yeah.
yeah, so you definitely read his book. So everything he says is the stuff that he did. And if you're like a fledgling gang member, like his deeds is something that you look at and you're like, damn, I want to be just like that. Because if you're running the streets and if you don't want to be like the top gangster out there, then you're in the wrong field. Like if you don't want to be the baddest motherfucker out there, what are you doing? So of course everybody's gonna try to emulate who they thought was the baddest. And for Ghost Shadows, he was the baddest motherfucker out there. In from the stories I've heard.
Right. But when you were coming up,
Yeah.
right? Like you just like you heard like the street tales from like other people and stuff like that, or like did you see him
Yeah,
growing
yeah,
up
yeah.
or
Oh, no, 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 no. This is before my time. He was before my time. Definitely before my time. He was actually second generation. And I was technically my generation is the last generation. So yeah, the only her stories. Or only her stories. And people brag about being with him when shit went down. Like, he was like a local folklore legend.
right, right. Well, man, shout out to Mike and Mitch and Peter Chin and everyone over there at Chinatown Gang Stories, man. They're real great people and they're doing their thing.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.